playlist.
My name is Michele Pignatti Morano. I am the director of the Ferrari Museums. Here we are where there is the birthhouse of Enzo Ferrari. Each Ferrari is different. Each Ferrari was the best in the world in design, performance, technology, putting all the best in one single car. Ferrari is a legend. It's just exceptionally full of excellence.
This is Ferrari Supercars, a partnership with the Enzo Ferrari Museum of Modena. What is next in line?
There's a particular kind of Ferrari we're going to speak a lot about today. Ferrari supercars. The car you're about to drive in this opening event is none other than the first Ferrari in the supercar bloodline, the Ferrari GTO.
The first supercars that we can define is the GTO. GTO was very simple. If we just start from the name, it was Gran Turismo Omologato. The definition of supercars is very simple. It's the top expression of that period in design, performance, technology, putting all the best in one single car of that period. People call it the 288 GTO, but that is not the correct definition. The definition for that car is the GTO. Punto.
term that refers to milestones in motoring history. All supercars are limited series and the product of Enzo Ferrari's philosophy, aiming to make every new model the best car of its time. That means that every new addition to the lineage is the embodiment of leading-edge research that sets the standard for cars worldwide. You'll drive all the Ferrari supercars on this adventure, but for now, just enjoy the collector's piece that is the Gran Turismo Omologato, or like Mr. Vignati Morano said, simply GTO. This car is, in essence, a special version of another iconic Ferrari, the 308 GTS. And, as intended, it is one of the fastest street-legal production cars of its time. Interesting fact from my archives. Three-time racing world champion Niki Lauda owned one of the few GTOs produced. A gift from Enzo Ferrari himself. Takes me back to the legacy tour Ferrari organized back in 2024. A GTO tribute tour set in the stunning surroundings of the Italian Dolomites. Organized exactly 40 years after Ferrari introduced the supercar at the 1984 Geneva Motor Show. But enough from me. Just listen to the car you're driving. She'll tell you her story herself. Ferrari, my young friend. A world where legends live among us to tell their stories loud and clear. I was delighted with that introduction. You may now head towards the northern part of the bay to make the acquaintance of the next two supercars in our Ferrari lineup. You heard me right. The next event will feature not one, but two cars for you to drive. On one hand, the inspired and inspiring Ferrari F50. And on the other hand, nothing less than a road-legal Formula One, a Ferrari F50. Mr. Vignati Morano will start with a few words, then I'll take over. the Ferrari F40. Enzo Ferrari's ultimate vision.
Everybody recognizes the F40. It sparks a memory. It has some magic. I see it in the museum. When people walk into a museum and see an F40, you really see the emotion in the eyes. The F40 stands out immediately. The F40 is such a beautiful masterpiece, and we still had Enzo Ferrari giving his input on that car. And I think that is extremely important. That makes this car even more precious. It was a relationship between the driver and the car, and that made it unique.
F40, second vehicle of the manufacturer to earn the prestigious supercar status, and a car that has shaken the motorsports industry to its core. Timed to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary, this Ferrari, bearing the apropos designation F40, was the last Ferrari automobile personally approved by Enzo Ferrari and made under the supervision of the Commendatore himself. Behavior and a stripped-down interior befitting its obvious racing heritage. Brutal and uncompromising. A car that has since become the epitome of Ferrari's brand identity. A car that still is in the heart of many. The greatest sports car ever made. At the time, the fastest Ferrari ever created. This is a machine that has a mind of her own. Talk to her, listen to her, find your common ground. You'll get one of the best driving experiences of your life. Like you two had a deep conversation out there. Very well. This is how you make history. expected at the Hanalma racetrack. But first, let's get there with panache. Another special car is waiting for you. Two of the 20th century's most popular Ferraris. But when it comes to beloved machines from the 80s and 90s, there's another red horse that undoubtedly comes to mind. The unmistakable pop culture icon, the Ferrari Testarossa.
When you ask people which is one of the most iconic cars that people remember, I think the Testarossa is definitely among these cars here. The technology that is inside, easily distinguishable from the side which has the fins. It is one of those cars that everybody remembers. Testarossa is very simple. Translated from Italian is testa, head, rossa, red. So the red head.
Ferrari Testarossa was quite the celebrity in her time. Movies, TV shows, magazines, and even video games, the Testarossa was everywhere, appealing to kids and adults alike. With its angular design, minimalistic lines, and signature side air intakes, this car was a poster child for aerodynamics. Precise, the exact model Motorfest has put in your hands is the 1991 re-engineered version of the Testarossa, introduced as the 512TR, featuring a redesigned interior and a refined exterior to improve its already spectacular lines. Looks like you're getting the perfect stretches of road between Maui and Oahu to take the whole measure of it. quite a breath of fresh air and nostalgia. It's time for you to get a real taste of Ferrari's racing DNA. The drive that gave birth to the supercar bloodline. And for this racing-themed experience, I went again through my archives to select not just one, but two vehicles for you to drive. One after the other. Two machines from two different eras. For two different racing experiences.
Scuderia Ferrari in our history is extremely important. Scuderia Ferrari was created in 1929, not far away from here. Enzo Ferrari himself was a driver. He started as a driver. So he created, and to stimulate the drivers, he was giving them and putting them in the best condition with the best car possible. Scuderia Ferrari was so successful. Enzo Ferrari has conquered the world from Maranello. This is an achievement which is unique and really makes the brand unique.
Started it all. To understand what fuels the creation of every Ferrari ever made, especially the supercars, the racetrack is an indispensable stop. Racing cars were Enzo Ferrari's passion and obsession. This is what led him to found the Scuderia in 1929, which has played a major role in racing history. And born from this racing division, Ferrari as a brand and factory of excellence was created a few years later. Racing is what led Ferrari to create cars, and eventually, supercars. Without his racing spirit and passion, there would be no Ferraris as we know them. Ferrari 365 GTB4 is the perfect vehicle for you to experience Ferrari racing as it felt back in the 70s. Before switching for a car about 45 years its junior. this second lap, you'll be driving the FXXK. This car is quite peculiar. Essentially a laboratory-enhanced version of La Ferrari, a supercar you'll get to meet later on. It didn't compete per se, but this insanely powerful car was used for years as an R&D test car, allowing Ferrari to collect precious data to ultimately improve their next official racing cars, as well as the supercars. So extreme that it can never be driven on the road, nor qualify for any kind of official competition. But it's still a racing machine through and through. More than a car, the FXXK is an experiment for its makers and an experience for its drivers. Was a peek at Ferrari's glorious racetrack heritage. A heritage in which supercars are inextricably tied up. Race driver, a moment I'll be thrilled to relate and store in my archives. Let's get our focus back to our supercar lineup. With the GTO, the F40, and the F50, we've covered all the Ferrari supercars born in the 20th century. We'll now get to talk about and drive the more recent 21st century supercars. Well, I'll talk, you'll drive. Let's get back to Maui. The next entry in our lineup and first supercar of the 2000s is a direct tribute to the commendatore Enzo Ferrari. You guessed it. We're letting you get your hands on the 2002 Ferrari Enzo.
what was the next name? The name was Enzo. Enzo Ferrari, I mean, it's the top of the names. You couldn't do anything better than that. If we look at it today, and you think it was presented in 2002, it is still a car which is modern, and it has more than 20 years, but it's still unique. It's still, everybody wants this car. There is no main evolution. It is all evolution. It's technological, it's design, it's the horsepowers we put in, everything, and that's what makes Edge Ferrari super.
Supercar bloodline was just like her sisters before her, born from a strong desire to push supercars even further. As the first Ferrari of the century, and with a Scuderia on top of the racing world, the Enzo was meant to strike hard and set new standards for Ferrari cars, or rather, for the whole sports car industry. With the will to design, once more, nothing less than a road-legal Formula One, faster on the track but more civilized on the road, Ferrari went all out. And my word, did they deliver. Design by Pininfarina, featuring noticeable air intakes and an F1-inspired nose, gives this car her aggressive, decisive, and impressive looks, while the engine is nothing short of engineering mastery, as you'd expect. Add to that better handling, better carbon brakes, and electronics that make the car as reliable on an everyday drive as it is savage on the racetrack. Latest 21st century tech alongside the legendary Ferrari Fury. Nothing short of a new performance benchmark. Her name alone shows how confident Ferrari was about this car. Owning one of the 399 plus one Ferrari Enzos in existence is like owning a piece of car history. Or, dare I say, like owning a piece of art. Heritage, luxury, and exclusivity. This is Enzo Ferrari's legacy. tribute that was the Ferrari Enzo, the world had to wait more than 10 years to encounter a new Ferrari supercar. But eventually, the next generation arrived, and once again, caught everybody off guard. I'm talking about a car named La Ferrari, the Ferrari in English, which is currently waiting for you north of Maui. I'll let you drive there, then we'll talk some more.
La Ferrari is the first Ferrari we have with an hybrid engine. If you come to our museum and you have the possibility of comparing and seeing the La Ferrari engine next to La Ferrari car, you won't believe that that engine is in that car. In that period, we were taking a lot of technology also from Formula One. And that's what the Ferrari is. La Ferrari is the first car, the first hybrid car, because we were taking the Formula One experience and transforming it and taking it to the road.
It's 2013, and a new supercar emerges from the Maranello factory. In an era of astonishingly intense competition, Ferrari still treated their rivals to a true tour de force, a car that reshuffled the cards yet again. Strongest naturally aspirated Ferrari V12 to date, marking Ferrari's first steps into hybrid technology. For the first time in the company's history, petrol and electric working together full-time to deliver unprecedented levels of performance. And on top of all that, La Ferrari sports an F1 kinetic energy recovery system that constantly recaptures waste energy, stores it, and converts it into bursts of power when needed. Some lucky people got to witness technology peak improvements at both ends of the spectrum. Higher performance, lower consumption. Glorious achievement. but also the fastest and most exhilarating road car ever made by the prancing horse, La Ferrari. This was La Ferrari, the fifth and ultimate Ferrari supercar. Or is she? See, not so long ago, we would have called it a day on this playlist, right about here. After all, La Ferrari was the last supercar ever made, the final word in Ferrari supercars. But that's not true anymore. In 2024, Ferrari shook the automotive world once again by revealing the sixth supercar to bear the prancing horse. The news of Ferrari unveiling a new supercar was already more than enough to get any car enthusiast in the world on their feet. But the reveal of her name is what made everyone lose their mind. The Ferrari F80. An exciting time to be alive, isn't it? You should head back to the Ferrari Museum. Believe me when I tell you that something brilliant is about to be set in motion.
What makes Ferrari so unique? It is mainly the people. The people make the difference. And as Enzo Ferrari used to say, factories are made of wall, machinery, and people. Ferrari is made of people mainly. The people and the sense of belonging to Ferrari is something I think that is difficult to find in other companies, in other places. Our brand is the only brand that has such a strong passion. Thanks to the passion that is in the brand, the technology, the effort that the people put behind this brand and behind building a new car, the next one is the best.
A legendary sports car brand, born from the passion of a man. A passion for driving and racing. A passion for speed and competition. with the will to build cars, each one better than the last. Throughout the decades, this racing DNA never faded away. It informs every single decision made by the prancing horse. It fuels the relentless drive to explore car technology, to push it beyond and make it evolve, to design the most incredible cars in the world. Jewels of the road, champions of the racetrack. Ferrari. It is cars that have become pop culture icons. Cars that share a special bond with millions of people. Whether you own a Ferrari or not, the name Ferrari rings like no other. It impacts and fascinates children and grown-ups alike. It is part of a collective consciousness. Ferrari cars are a vector for dreams. They're modern legends, both real and mythical in a way. A sports car is, in both fiction and reality. This is putting it mildly, the epitome of luxury cars. With design that combines rage and glamour, each Ferrari is a piece of art. And from the higher end of the splendor spectrum, each drive is a statement. Essence of the racing spirit, pop culture phenomenon, state-of-the-art ambassador. The combination of all these attributes made Ferrari a car brand that reached millions of people and brought them together. People that have, over the decades, formed a community like no other. Devout, passionate, dedicated. Because once again, no need to own a Ferrari to be part of the Ferrari world. Through almost 80 years, Ferrari has shaped car history. And as I speak, it is shaping its future. A new chapter of the Ferrari supercars story is being written. Its title, F80.
It's a challenge to keep the legacy of the Ferrari brand alive. Thanks to the passion that is in the brand, the technology, the effort that the people put behind this brand and behind building a new car, the next one is the best. I hope you enjoyed driving our cars. They are unique, but why not come to our museum and see the real thing? Come and live the dream and come to the Ferrari museums. Arrivederci.
This was our exclusive Ferrari experience. Now, time to get your reward. Playlist experience is here. New challenges unlocked. New challenges unlocked. complete this playlist. Face each other proudly in the Maui sun, symbolizing the intense speed clash that awaits you. What do you think? This was generated by a cousin of mine. I'm not great with poetry, but talking to you about playlists, now that I can do. Motorfest takes on the colors of Red Bull, the most energetic brand in motorsport. They've been investing in iconic racing disciplines for decades, teaming up with the most successful manufacturers. But they also sponsor more than 500 extraordinary athletes who represent the brand in their respective sports. We can't introduce them all to you, but our playlist host, Becky Evans, went to meet some of them in her show, Motorfest, the podcast. They're all specialists in the various motorsports you're about to enjoy. Meet us at our brand new playground at the summit of Maui, a world of molten lava and burning rubber. This one comes from my software. I couldn't help myself.
Boys and girls, Becky Evans here. I'm joining Motorfest for this new playlist, and I didn't come alone. Red Bull sets up at the summit of Maui on a playground dedicated to every possible racing discipline. We love it. In this playlist, you get to become a pro at every discipline and find out which discipline is the best. Can a motocross bike beat a rally car? Can an AGP beat an aeroplane? It's up to you to take on the craziest challenges and answer the questions that everyone's asking. And I won't be the only one hosting this playlist. Motorsport stars will join us and give you all of their tips and stories. It's shaping up nicely. Let's go. Let's begin the Red Bull experience.
Discipline starts now. To get the full experience, check out Sounds of Red Bull, the new track list in the music player. Let's see what's coming up. This Red Bull playlist with a rallycross race. Let's see how the Ford Puma Hybrid will fare against other rally monsters, like the Audi Quattro, the Citroen C3, and the Focus RS. But before that, we take a look at Motorfest, the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to Motorfest, the podcast. Here I get real with Red Bull athletes to tell us about the intensity of motorsports and the love they feel for it. And let's talk about Rallycross, which is the theme of the first playlist event. For the occasion, I asked two of the most exciting Rallycross names about their ideal car. Here are the Hanson brothers. Guys, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, Timmy, if you were to describe your ultimate dream machine, what would it be?
Something like, what they have in Pikes Peak, a lot of power, a lot of suspension travel, being able to jump really far.
Kevin, over to you.
Like really long suspension travel, so you can jump like crazy. Rebel livery, red.
Yep, okay, makes sense. The car you're about to drive meets a lot of Kevin and Timmy's criteria. I hope you guys will love it. Oh, and to listen to the full podcast, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Just go to the Sounds of Red Bull track list of your music player. Enjoy the race. Welcome to the Red Bull Playground, boys and girls. Becky Evans here, improvising as the voice of the playlist. Ray Waller, the official voice of the festival, is bedridden, but don't worry, he'll be back soon. I'll be commentating on what you see, and don't blink because things are going to happen fast. Entering a tunnel for the first time. Now they have to adapt their driving to the tarmac. It's a cross-terrain race, just like this playlist, mixing all the disciplines of racing. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always wanted to say that. In my last podcast, Timmy Hansen explained how essential it is to gather enough speed, keep the nose up, and land flat for a successful jump. Woohoo! Looks like this one listens to the podcast. The 2016 World Champion has started in first position, but the big surprise, undoubtedly the Ford Puma Hybrid Rally 1, the brand's first electrified rally car. Last round, boys and girls.
It's time for a first clash of disciplines. 2 disciplines, 2 paths. Choose your discipline and prove that it can set the fastest time. Your turn.
Right, boys and girls, I'm super excited because we get to see the first clash of motorsports. We're staying in the dirt, and you know the first opponent because we already saw it in action, the Puma. But for the second, you'll have to listen to my last interview.
Hi, I'm Robbie Madison. I'm freestyle motocross rider. I've done a lot of cool stunts.
As a champion athlete and stunt performer, what does flirting with the limit mean for you?
To me, flirting with the limit is like being in the moment. When you're able to flirt with the limit, you're operating at the full maximum potential that you're able to operate. That's the pinnacle, right? That's peak performance.
And you guys, are you ready to flirt with the limits? Team Hansen or Team Madison? Which side are you on? You've chosen the KTM 450. Get ready to push boundaries like Robbie would. You're witnessing a real speed clash. The first one to the finish is the winner. Right now, the bike and the car are on the same course. But to keep things fair, they'll diverge onto separate routes, designed to let each vehicle work to its full potential. The course is about to split. Straight ahead for the car, right for the motorcycle. KTM definitely has the advantage of airtime. She's much better at jumping. But the Puma can deal with asphalt and is more reliable on straights. Both have their strong points. Which one will exploit theirs best? No matter the vehicle, dirt requires reflexes, but above all, instinct. Making the right choices quickly is the key to surviving the race.
chapter is finished. We're moving on to asphalt vehicles. We start quietly, and I use big quotation marks, with a little warm-up ride on a racing bike.
Podcast studio. Listen to this, folks. What you're hearing is the sound of the KTM RC16 2022 version, and that's my guess for today. 4 cylinders, 1,000 cubic centimeters, 250 horsepower for just 346 pounds. Take a look at this dynamic marvel and get ready to drive in the time attack. Don't forget, when you're driving along the coast of Maui or the streets of Honolulu, you can listen to all the podcast episodes on the Sounds of Red Bull track list. Now, time to unleash the moto racing power.
Boys and girls, this event can seem simple, but it's crucial for our driver. A time attack to test whether the driver can handle the next clash of disciplines. RC16 is a little marvel. We had to wait until 2017 to see the RV KTM factory join the competition. The brand has won everything in other competitions, so it was time to see them take on moto racing. can either play it safe and keep this vehicle, or roll the dice with something unknown. It's an agonizing decision.
Clash of disciplines in sight. When a racing bike meets a racing car, it's a real battle for the asphalt.
For the next one, we'll put two disciplines in a head-to-head race and see which one crosses the line first. Racing car or racing bike? Which one is the best? Will it be the beautiful Ferrari 488 in its circuit version, or the KTM RC16 that we all know has great skills? I'm leaning towards the bike. It's lighter and its top speed flirts with 224 miles per hour. It's the logical choice. But aren't we here to defy the laws of logic? Racing car addicts, it's up to you to prove otherwise. Ferrari meets Red Bull.
discussion.
Radio Flash. Hear all the insights on the world of racing on Sounds of Red Bull, the official channel of motorsport.
boys and girls. I hope you can keep up because we're about to go hard with the elite of motorsports, the AGP. Cars that can easily go up to 220 miles per hour. And because we always want more in this playlist, we add boost gauges. It's going to be strategic. And as always, I did my homework and talked all things racing with a pro driver. You might know him, Yuki Tsunoda.
Could you break down what you feel your driving style is for us watching you on the screen?
My dad used to teach me a lot about braking. Definitely, I like to adapt braking. Recently, last Grand Prix was a bit too much sometimes, and yeah, unfortunately, a couple of times went to the wall. You know, feels great when you feel the G-force. You know, with the maximum longitudinal G-force when you have nailed the great braking.
And beside braking hard, be focused at the start. It's decisive for the rest of the race.
Drivers are focused. The start is imminent. Let's go! A full AGP race, using boosts in the right place at the right time, will be decisive. Second lap. It's raining. It's going to be a completely different race from now on. The RB AGP Museum is on this circuit. 4 generations, RB 13, 14, 18 and 20. 7 years of evolution from Renault to Honda engines. Between them, these 4 account for more than 70 podiums. Ultimate lap. Drivers, if you've got any extra nitro, now's the time to use it.
pit for what follows. And you can also opt for a vehicle that's a little less earthbound. The choice is yours.
Podcast, guys. As you've seen, the playground is a motorsport paradise, but there's still a place that we haven't experienced so far: the sky. I was lucky enough to feature Luke Chapella, Red Bull Air Race pilot, famous for being the first to land a plane on the very tiny helipad 600 feet in the air.
I'd love to know more about the bullseye stunt. There's an attempt, and then the plane like bounces and you keep going, and I had a heart attack and was like, oh my God.
I almost got a heart attack on the first one as well. It took me like 650 practice landings before I went for the actual landing on the helipad. So for an athlete to come out from what I thought was a failure, but that was quite challenging.
So cool. The video is online. You have to check it out. The next race is the most experimental of the playlist: AGP versus stunt plane. Place your bets.
That's not just my reaction, but also the name of your flying machine. Unsurprisingly, the AGP has the advantage on startup, but once the plane is airborne, it's a different story. If you're a Red Bull addict, you'll probably know that this isn't the first time an AGP and a plane have been put on the same grid. Last time, it was in a straight line in a drag race. Here the plane will have to make very tight turns if it wants to keep up with the AGP, which is much more accustomed to doing so. That's really exciting. I'm sure you're familiar with the RB20 on the track today, certainly more so than its aerial rival. Stressed for 10G and capable of reaching 975 meters per minute, its size makes it the perfect aerobatic aircraft. Let's hope our pilot will give us a taste. We entered the second lap. To give up. This succession of turns is tricky. another race like this anytime soon.
One more clash to close this Red Bull playlist. This one is big. Confronting two disciplines is not enough. So Motorfest and Red Bull are offering you the choice of three. Which is the best? Becky asked our Red Bull athletes what they think.
In your honest opinion, between rally, AGP and motor racing, which is the most intense discipline? The one that brings the craziest sensations?
I think it's motor racing, actually.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I think F1. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd go for Formula One.
Rallycross, moto racing, or AGP? Here comes the ultimate challenge of the playlist, but also the end of the podcast. But I'm never far away. I'm always on the air. You'll find all the podcasts on the Sounds of Red Bull track list. And then, I don't know why, but I feel like we'll see each other again soon. It's off to the apex of the playlist. Fiesta replaced another Ford at short notice. The Puma missed weight.
Who will cross the line first in this head-to-head race? Answer in about a few minutes. The rally car has already changed its course to reach the dirt. Special route designed to match its strengths. The AGP stands out for its speed and braking quality, and of course it sticks to asphalt and is unbeatable in corners. So to make things fair, it will be racing the longest route. The bike's route, on the other hand, is shorter but ultra-technical, forcing the rider to swing through the curves without losing speed. Between dirt and asphalt. That's its strength. In addition to its high acceleration, its all-terrain capability means it can compete with faster rivals.
You haven't claimed your reward for this playlist. End of Speed Clash, the first milestone in a promising relationship between Red Bull and Motorfest. I'm sure this is just the beginning. You've discovered a multitude of racing vehicles in this playlist, all of them motorsports gems. But we had to choose just one for the reward. We thought maybe you wouldn't mind having a Red Bull branded Ferrari in your garage. The Ferrari F188 GT3 FA Corse is just for you. Playlist just opened up. New challenges unlocked. got it this time. Let's just rewind that one. Let's call this a do-over. Mulligan! call this a do-over.